Microphone check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another incredible, fantastic, super Saturday Move Quest event where only the champions and only the A players connect to showcase one of the most empowering technological projects of our time. Today is Saturday, October the 25th. And as always, we are showing up live right here on Zoom, energized, fully loaded, and ready for success. Machine mode is officially activated. We have an amazing event lined up for you all today. The focus of today's conversation is state of the art technology. Changes in technology happen super fast, so buckle up and get ready to live life in the fast lane. Opportunity waits for no one. As always, today and every day, we invite you to let go of lack, let go of limitation, let go of scarcity, and focus on abundance, prosperity, affluence, and limitless possibilities. Where focus goes, energy flows. The core of today's conversation is about success and how you can take action towards it right now. So, thank you all for taking time out of your schedule, out of respect for your time, and out of respect for all of those who showed up on time. Let's get into it. Now, before I begin, I always remind myself you can absolutely create your own economy. It all comes down to the decisions that you make, the actions that you take, and the way that you think. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Hayden. My background is in recording engineering, music industry arts. I volunteer my time as a youth competitive football coach. Now, by the way, that's a bit of advance warning. The tone of a coach is always inviting you to win and tap into your inner greatness. Just saying in advance. I'm also a crypto enthusiast and digital asset investor. Now, in the next 15 minutes or so, we're going to highlight what many, including myself, see as an absolute chain breaker. And then after that, we're going to spark up an advanced conversation about success for those with an A player state of mind only. Now, that being said, let's share some visuals to go along with this conversation. Bear with me for a quick second. See what we got here. All right. The name of the project that we're taking a look at here today is called MoveQuest, where you can get fit, where you can receive crypto through a unique process called mining and gain access to an incredible community, the #1 decentralized community on the planet, the MoveQuest Nation, building a successful future one step at a time. So, what is MoveQuest? Well, MoveQuest is a state of the art decentralized application that can empower anyone, anywhere in the world to be able to mine crypto, receive incredible, very valuable digital assets, and most importantly, create a flow of value into your life known as residual income. For those of you looking at this term for the first time, residual income is the art of doing something one time and being rewarded for that activity over and over and over and over and over again, long after you finish doing the work. You see, most people have been conditioned to trade time for money. You work and you get paid, but when you stop working, the pay stops too. Now, the problem with that is that sometimes the work stops at a time that might not be too convenient. And guess what keeps coming? The bills keep flowing into the light every single month, like bandits looking to ambush the bank. Now, in my personal opinion, it makes sense to create a flow of value into your life that matches and surpasses the amount of your life expenses by 2x, 5x, 10x, so you can live life way more on your own terms. That's what we're taking a look at here today. We're taking a look at how you can do something one time, download an app one time, configure that app to work with your device one time. But from that moment forward, you create residual income and you have the ability to live life like a rock star. As many of you know, those who are in the entertainment industry, they know all about residual income, unfair advantage. You know, that industry teaches you about royalties. Artists like Michael Jackson, recorded tracks back in the 1970s, and he's not even around anymore. However, if we were all playing the game of money, which technically we are, many of us are losing to people who are no longer with us. Michael Jackson earned 600 million in 2024 last year, more than any living celebrity. Why? He was playing a different game than everybody else is playing. He's playing the art of doing something one time and being rewarded long after your lifetime. His estate is continuing to earn from efforts that were done once. A very important disclaimer, you can take a screenshot of this. We're not going to run through all of that. However, it's just to make sure that everybody is wearing their big boy and big girl clothes. This is a serious project that you have to apply a serious work ethic to. So take a screenshot of this and then let's move on. Now, what is MoveQuest? Well, MoveQuest is a move to earn app. It's that simple. It's designed to help people be consistent when it comes to healthy physical activity by rewarding them with crypto daily for staying physically active and for getting healthy levels of sleep. The key word there is consistent. Consistency is a key ingredient to achieving success, and that's what this is all about, a powerful incentive. MoveQuest combines the concept of mining crypto with incentivized, healthy physical activity. The more you move, the more crypto you will mine. You see, the MoveQuest platform will reward you for achievements in 5 different healthy physical activity categories. We're talking steps, workouts, distance traveled, calories burned, and sleep. And all of this is managed by a smart contract. 100% decentralized, 100% on chain. No one controls your digital assets here except you. You don't have to ask permission to withdraw them. Once you claim them, they are yours. You can do whatever you like with it. You can cash it in immediately if you choose to do that, which would be the weakest of all strategies. However, for those of you with the discipline to apply the strategy of holding onto these digital assets over time and only cashing in at price points that work in accordance with your goals, that type of strategy, deferred value strategy, that can result in life transformation experience. Just saying. Now, one thing we advise you to do is the strive to maximize the targets for each of these physical activity categories. Okay, so let's take a look at the targets. Because by doing so, by striving to maximize the results in each of these physical activity categories, you will likely achieve the healthy results that you're looking to achieve. You'll likely achieve the physical transformation that you're going after, but you'll also likely achieve the maximum financial possibilities with this platform as well. So we're talking about steps, 12,000 steps, workouts, 1 hour, distance traveled, 6 miles. And by the time you do the steps, you'll likely cover the distance traveled and the workout time as well. Calories burned only 800 and sleep it is 6 hours. Very simple, very doable. Anybody with the right intention from the start of the day to the end can easily achieve these maximum results. So, what kind of activity are we talking about here? We're talking about simple actions like walking, running, hiking, playing sports, sleep, casual daily activity, the stuff you love to do, like working out in the gyms and being outdoors, playing with the kids and all of that, and even the stuff you don't like to do, like taking out the garbage, walking the dog in the middle of the night when it might not be the most convenient time for you, going to the grocery store, taking the kids to school, all of it now helps to change the attitude towards it because it's connected to a flow of value. Very cool stuff. Now, what do you need to get started? Well, it's very simple. All you need is a device. iOS or Android, both technologies will work. Smartwatch or fitness tracker, that's optional, however, highly recommended. We're also going to make sure that Google Fit and Apple Health are functioning properly on your device. Now, these apps are already installed, pre-installed on on Android devices and iOS. They're already calculating healthy physical activity data. The only difference is those who are not participating MoveQuest just yet, you are not being rewarded for that physical activity. But we're going to show you how to change all of that right now. We'll help you to get the digital asset NFTs that will help you to the state-of-the-art technology that will help you to acquire these super cool digital assets. And also, we'll show you how to fund your wallet so that you can manage the transactions associated with participation. Now, there are 6 stages to the start process, and don't worry, it is super fun, super easy, and help is available. The person who invited you to this conversation will likely help you out. We got incredible start guides, step-by-step videos. Anyone can easily self-enroll when they apply themselves to the process. Okay. The one thing that we really advise you to do is prioritize safety, security, and best practices. At the end of the day, this is crypto. You become your own bank. So you got to pay attention to what you're doing. Making errors in crypto and blockchain could be disastrous. It could result in loss of digital assets, and we don't want that. And most of the time, it can be avoided with a simple conversation before you begin. Okay. But once we complete these steps, you can start moving and start mining the native token of this project, MQT, which stands for Move Quest Token. However, you can also mine additional tokens through this project. You see, Move Quest is like a distribution hub. It behaves like a blockchain. Other legitimate projects can participate and give exposure to their projects and allow people to mine their digital asset. The first of many projects to come is the Bullish Moon Educational Token. This is an incredible opportunity to mine BMED before it's even listed, which is scheduled to list on December the 1st. How often do you get an opportunity to acquire a valuable digital asset before it's even launched at its lowest price point? Take advantage of this opportunity. Opportunity waits for no one. That being said, once you complete all these steps, you can blast into the future towards the best and most healthiest version of yourself. Your healthy physical activity can now be the keys to your desired financial reality. Now, for those of you who love what you're seeing, but you're on a tight budget, you like the concept, but the finances are a little bit of a challenge. Well, this super cool feature was designed specifically for you. This is the Phantom. The Phantom allows you to get started without the cost of purchasing the digital asset state-of-the-art technologies that you own. It allows you to mine MQT for 90 days straight. You see, the Phantom will disappear after 90 days, but the tokens that you earn, the tokens that you mine with the Phantom are 100% real. You can do whatever you like with it. You can apply it to purchasing the assets that you actually own. You see, the Phantom, it has many names, and one of my favorite names for the Phantom is the Excuse Eliminator. But for those of you with deeper pockets, one of the reasons why you likely have deeper pockets is because you realize, you recognize opportunity. You realize that it's important to, you know the importance of owning assets. This is exactly where you want to begin. You want to start with the full power miners, the Trailblazer, the Vanguard, and the big boss of them all, the Titan, mining at 400% mining power. Max out with the most powerful MoveQuest NFTs. You can dock as many as 18 of these digital assets at one time. And you can start at whatever power level that you're able to start at. You can add to available docks as your situation opens up to do so, and you can also evolve or upgrade to higher amounts of mining power. The most important thing is that you just get started. Take advantage of this incredible opportunity that's on the table right now. This special promotional offer is only it's a limited time promotional offer. It's ending on December the 1st. It's part of a 1 year anniversary celebration. You can receive 18 Trailblazers. Don't waste time with the Phantoms, those of you who can do this, because this deal you receive $3,240 worth of value for only $720. And this deal will vanish faster than the Phantoms. So don't waste time with this. Don't play around with this specific deal. It is powerful and it positions you to win in a big way. Why? Because once again, this is a crypto mining project. And it's important to mine with the highest amount of mining power possible. The higher the amount of mining power that you're mining with, the more MQT you will receive for the same healthy physical activity. Now, there's a massive change that took place into the system, and this is one of the reasons why you want to mine with the highest amount of mining power possible. For those of you who are involved in the MoveQuest project already and paying attention to all the unique things that are happening to tweak the platform and make it as powerful as possible. The daily distribution has been adjusted. Scarcity is in play. Take a screenshot of this and review it for later because what's going on right now in the MoveQuest ecosystem is just incredible. Don't wait. The time will never be just right. Start where you stand and work with whatever tools you may have at your command. Better tools will be found as you go along. Now, those are the words of the legend himself, Napoleon Hill, the author of Think and Grow Rich. Now imagine credit card debt gone, living expenses taken care of, five-star vacations multiple times per year planned, return date from those vacations when you are done vacationing. No more need for a job. Unwanted weight shredded. Health condition A plus. Lifestyle exactly the way you desire it to be. All because you took one simple action. Your future self will thank your present self for downloading an app today one time, configuring it to work with your device one time, and you create a powerful stream of income that you have full control over. No product or service to sell, no customers to acquire, no team building and recruiting as a condition for you to create wealth. The only thing that you have to do is focus on your own healthy physical activity. It doesn't get any easier than that. Now, that's pretty much the MoveQuest project in a nutshell. In my personal opinion, you've just witnessed one of the most powerful ways to acquire crypto and literally create a stream of income for the rest of your life and even beyond. A digital asset residual value. After seeing this information, there really are only two types of people. There are those who can identify opportunity and take action. And then there are those who simply let opportunity pass them by. Which one are you? Right here, right now, the coach is inviting you to abandon a poor state of mind. The acronym for poor is POOR, passing over opportunity repeatedly. Poor can also stand for plain, old, ordinary results. Yuck. Saying those mediocre words feels awful just saying it. Right here, right now, I'm inviting you to embrace a rich state of mind. The acronym for rich is RICH, residual income creates happiness. For those of you who are ready to embrace a rich state of mind, simply get back to the person who invited you to this conversation, get the app, get it set up, get plugged into the community, move more, mine more, earn more, and transform your motion into money. Thank you all so much for taking time for being part of this conversation. We are going to take a very quick 1 minute break. But before I do that, I want to remind you that there is a 90-day elite challenge taking place right now that I think is closed, but you can still participate because there are all kinds of activities that the host of this this challenge is going to be offering. So those of you who are participating in the 90-day challenge, congratulations. Those of you who didn't register in time, don't worry. You can still connect with this and align your activities. I'm pretty certain that there are ways for you to benefit with this incredible challenge. So that being said, we are going to take a very short pause for the cause and then come back right after this. We have a very special guest with us here today. We are going to light up a powerful conversation with the founder of MoveQuest, the light paper lioness herself, Miss Lynette Artin. So thank you for your patience. Stay right there and enjoy this short video. Bear with me for a quick moment.
You got to pump it up, don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up, don't you know, pump it up. You got to pump it up.
Champions find a way to make it happen. No matter how long it takes, they find a way.
3, 2, 1.
You need to panic, stop sleeping, feel nervous, and get rich now.
Your checking account available balance is $127,591,274.77.
What will be etched into history after your life? What legend will be left long after you are gone?
The key to immortality is first living a life worth remembering. This successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus. Always be yourself and have faith in yourself. A warrior does not compare himself to others. The only competition for a warrior is the man in the mirror.
Be a master of the mind, not mastered by the mind. Do not follow the ideas of others, but learn to listen to the voice within yourself. Obstacles don't block the path, they are the path. Withdraw into yourself and look. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. You will never do anything in this world without courage. It is the greatest quality of the mind next to honor. Don't waste your time looking back. You're not going that way. Do not look upon this world with fear and loathing. Bravely face whatever the gods offer. Feed your focus. Let pain be the motivation. You must live intensely, wholeheartedly, without reserve, as if you might die in the next instant. The devil whispers, you can't withstand the storm. The warrior responds, I am the storm. Don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion.
All right, all right, all right. I am back. For those of you just tuning in, my name is Hayden, your friendly neighborhood digital asset investor. We just covered the MoveQuest overview to establish some context before activating an advanced A player conversation. Congratulations to all of you who are taking time to focus on success today. As you know, where focus goes, energy flows. So let's keep pushing forward. Now, when it comes to success, bear with me for a second. Let me just make sure my screen is being shared here. 1 second here. There we go. Awesome. Like I was saying, when it comes to state of the art technologies, the most disruptive technology reshaping the world right now as we know it is crypto and blockchain. It's one thing to benefit as a holder of digital assets, and it's a whole separate dimension to be involved as an innovator, as a creator, as an architect, as a designer, and as a developer of a crypto and blockchain project. And then take it to a whole other level, building a project so cool that it places you number one in the space. MoveQuest is the number one decentralized move to earn platform in the world. And today we have the founder and the creator of MoveQuest maxing and relaxing with the MoveQuest Nation, the MoveQuest A players, and the MoveQuest champions. Ladies and gentlemen, multi-set soldiers and max out warriors. Light up the board with those emojis and welcome to the cyber center stage, the light paper lioness, Miss Lynette Artin. Lynette, are you there?
I am here. How are you today?
Beautiful, beautiful. I am doing fantastic. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's an honor to have you with us here today. Before we begin, before we jump into some of the cool details that I know you have for everybody to share with today, um, just a little bit of more intimate type information I'm going to ask you about. Can you give us a little bit of insight to early Lynette? Lynette in her younger days. Where did that quantum mathematical mindset start off? What kind of teenager were you? Like, were you a nerd, a rebel, an artist, or a mix up of all of those three? Give us some insight.
Kind of funny that you say that. So I would have to say I'm a mix of the three. I was definitely a rebel. I was the oldest, and I thought I was an angel, but my dad didn't think so. Um, and I was a nerd, I guess. I didn't think I was, but my sister and her clan always called me that. I mean, it was like lunchtime, they're out smoking cigarettes behind the party store, and I'm sitting in the hallway studying for my next class.
Hey,
That's the difference. um, well, at least I think it was cigarettes they were smoking. Who knows back then in the 80s, you know what I mean? And then artists, my entire family are very artistic. If you look up the art name in Germany, they were famous artists. And so my father is extremely artistic. My sister is extremely artistic, right down to my granddaughter. I mean, we're all artistic in our own ways. Like I can draw stick people, but my other, where my sister can draw three-dimensional paintings, and so can my dad's. But my artistic talents are in different ways. So I guess I'm a mix of all three. You can't really figure me out.
no, that is awesome. And you know what? When you're talking about art, sometimes it really just comes down to the ability to tap into those higher faculties of the main one being the imagination. And that's one of the reasons why I
Hmm.
asked a question like that. So another question, just before, like I said, before you unleash some of the cool stuff that you got for us today. I don't know if you know this, But Detroit is documented as the origin of techno. You might not know
Yeah.
these names, but Derek May, Kevin Saunderson, Juan Atkins. These are legends that inspired some mainstream artists. Some people might not know some of these, but they're very mainstream if they look them up. New Order, Depeche Mode, Art of Noise, and a whole almost everyone who is in the electronic dance music, underground house and techno space, all of them they connect right back to Detroit with those three people. So it's not surprising that the state of Michigan is home to another groundbreaking legend, Miss Lynette Artin. But here's the difference. Here's the difference and what makes your situation so cool. Those were all men. Shout out,
Right.
shout outs to the women of the world. Lynette Artin, you are the hardest working woman in crypto. I just want to recognize you for that because it's
Well, thank you.
business in
It's an
general is
addiction.
business in general is a tough space for gender sometimes, so I give big shout outs to you for your accomplishments and what you're achieving with this incredible state of the art technology of MoveQuest. Now, another one,
Well, thank you very much.
you ride a Harley, and I know that you mentioned in the past, uh, so it just gives me that insight that you like to be fast and furious sometimes. So, and you mentioned that you had a Corvette. What color was your Corvette?
Well, I've got a 69 Stingray.
Oh my.
That's like the Robin Egg Blue, still the original. And then I had the first Z06 that they put on the convertible. And it was black. Oh, my dad, when I bought it, he's like, "Do you have buyer's remorse?" No, I never did, but I sure had seller's remorse. I still do.
Oh yeah,
That car was, oh, yeah,
I know that
that was
pain.
my black beauty.
Yeah, I know that pain of seller's remorse. I sold a Mustang once upon a time, and I didn't don't today I don't really feel great that I sold it for such a poor reason. I think it just got like the shocks were broken and I sold it because I didn't think it was worth it to fix. So crazy.
Oh, yeah. No, nothing was broke on mine, but it was just looking at the market value for, it just kept dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. You would pay six figures for a car, and all of a sudden it's got a
Yeah.
market value of 45,000, and you're like, what? You know, and I didn't want to wait till I was dead for it to come back. So
Yeah, I
anyway, I
hear
did sell it. Wish I hadn't, but I love speed, and that is a really bad. It's one of my
that.
worst straights. It doesn't matter if I'm on two wheels or four wheels, and
Yeah.
usually if I'm on four and I'm hitting the highway hard, I'm
Mhm.
usually probably airlifting a bit. But yeah,
Oh
that has
yeah.
always been a bad problem of mine.
No wonder this project is moving in the direction that it's moving. We are super excited. It is awesome what the future holds for this platform. So let's shift gears now and pick up some technological speed. You mentioned previously that you and the developers are coding these smart contracts to interact with blockchain in ways that they were not initially designed to operate. So this is groundbreaking technology. Share whatever insight you want at this point in time. The floor is all yours. Share with the community whatever you feel like with regards to MoveQuest. I'm going to stop sharing my screen just in case you want to share yours. So the floor is all yours. Go ahead.
Well, I probably don't have anything to share screen wise, but
That's
I
fine.
guess if you want to know kind of like where MoveQuest came up, I've been involved in crypto since Bitcoin came out. And, I got a phone call telling me, just go buy $100 of it. Don't question me this time. You didn't buy Google. You didn't buy Yahoo. You didn't buy into Facebook stock, those back when you could. Because my first initial reaction to Google was, what the hell's a Google? Now I ain't spending money on that. And that was, the internet was barely a thing at that time. So when I did get that phone call on the fourth one, I did buy $100 worth of Bitcoin. It was under a penny. And that's when you're still using paper wallets. And there was no way to convert it and get it into your bank. You had to sell it, peer to peer. I have 100 Bitcoin, and I'll send it to you for, $100 or whatever it was back then. Um, you know, it was just crazy times, and I didn't understand it at all. So I got involved, as it started to, take hold. And you had other projects coming up. Like I remember getting involved with Ethereum when it was only 55 cents. Today it's over $4,000. And
Nice.
I still hold that Ethereum. I'm a crypto hoarder. Like my XRP, I started buying that when they first listed and was going through all their regulatory issues with the SEC here in the United States.
Oh yeah.
And I'll probably hold that for another 10 years. Especially when you could buy in, at the really low market values. When you have a promising blockchain or a crypto project. The problem is that there's more shit show projects out there. It became, when they call it the wild, wild west, it's a great space to be in. They can change your life in profound ways. Sometimes it can happen overnight, but most times now, it's evolved enough into the 15 or 16 years that it's been, around, where there's so many projects and there's so many blockchains that you just don't really know what to get in. And because most people don't really understand crypto, only 5% of the population really are involved in crypto. So as new people are coming into the space, they don't really know what they're doing. They don't understand it, at the levels that some other people do. And so they're easy to be conned into these, like, I guess they're just shitty projects. People can throw a project up in no time. You can write a smart contract in a matter of minutes and deploy it and call it, something fantastic. And that project is gone in 3 to 6 months. People don't, they if you're talking to somebody who says they're an expert in crypto, I would guarantee you that 9 times out of 10, they're not. They're repeating to you something that somebody else told them that thinks they, are an expert in crypto. And it just goes down the chain to where the person that is explaining it, they really don't get it. They're just telling you what they've heard. You've got to really, kind of understand the dynamics of the space. And when people do, they'll stop spending their money on these projects that are going to take all of their money.
That's true.
And I got tired of that. I got involved in a lot of projects, and I'm telling you right now, if it was a project, there's not one single project that's still here today that I invested money into, whether it was to buy their token, whether it was to, buy into their, what they were going to build. A lot of times, you spend money on pre-sales, and that's based on what they tell you they're going to use that money for and what they're going to develop. That is really what the pre-sales, in the earlier days especially, were regarding. And so you could buy just mounds of tokens for pennies on the dollar. But there's a problem with that too. And, it's also gotten to the point where people who create these projects, they have millions and billions and even trillions sometimes. Like I really laugh when I see trillions of tokens. Those tokens will never have a chance to even, if they're lucky to reach a penny, it's just sheer luck at that point. They're just never going to get there. So they don't understand tokenomics, these project creators. They don't understand that you need to have an ecosystem. You've got to have a use case. You've got to have a project that's fully built like a blockchain. If you don't have that, that project is going to fail. It will not be here. And tens of thousands of projects have failed. And probably most of you that are on this call have dabbled into projects that are no longer here either. I've done it myself, but that's how you learn. You learn by making these mistakes. If you don't make a mistake, nobody just walks into, a space as an expert in it or somebody that understands it. You have to learn. Those are learning experiences. The problem is the people that keep doing it over and over and over again, expecting a different result. How many times can you do the same thing over and get a different result? You're not. You're going to get the same result. So you have to be able to understand what that project offers. And I just got tired of it, really. And I would say the last project I was involved in, the only reason I got involved in it is because of the ecosystem they were going to build out. But they dropped it to go into a different project. They never built the ecosystem. And again, left everybody hanging with tokens that weren't worth squat. So I'm like, you know what? I get it. I understand it. And I'm going to create a project that encapsulates the entire globe, which is your health and being able to use your physical activity to really mine tokens. And that's where, we coined the term proof of physical activity, because that proof of physical activity, when you submit that to the blockchain, you're validating the physical activity you did, and it verifies the physical activity to validate the tokens that you mined from that day's mining pool distribution. And the other thing is complete decentralization and complete transparency. Um, if you get involved in a project and you go to a dashboard, you get a request from that project, your tokens, there's a big problem there. That means somebody is managing that project. It's not decentralized. With MoveQuest, every time you make a call, you're making a call to a smart contract. It's not managed in any way, shape, or form by a human being. It is completely managed by smart contracts. You don't have to request your money and then wait for myself or Waleed or one of our other admins to approve that transaction. No, you connect your wallet and you make a call to a smart contract instantly and in real time. It executes. So the smart contracts manage everything. You're in complete and you're in total control. Um, Without me, this project it still moves. It doesn't need me. And that's the reason why our servers only cost, under $50 a month, because we don't store anything on our servers. You are completely secure with our project, with our application, even on the Web3, because nothing is stored in our servers. None of your physical activity data, none of your wallet information, none of your tokens, zero, zilch is on our servers. The only thing on our servers are what you see for the UI to make it user friendly. So you don't actually have to go to SnowScan or SnowTrace and interact with the smart contract, because that's a whole nother level that you have to learn to be able to connect to the smart contract, to be able to, scroll through the contract options and know which ones, you need to use and what to put in there. And so we just make it simple on the UI side, the user interface. So when you click a button, it's actually making a call to that contract and you're executing everything. Like I said, instantly in real time. There's no chance of it bankrupting because we don't, take any of the tokens. Every project you see, what do they give you? 25% goes to admin costs, 10% to marketing, 10% to development, 10% to this, 5% to that. They end up holding 80% of the tokens and they sell them all. So as soon as the market value gets up there, whatever's in their coffers, they sell. Well, there was no allocation of tokens, period. You either mine them or you buy them. I've not received one MoveQuest token from this project. I buy them, I mine them. And that is the case for everybody. That's it. Period. There was no pre-sale. There was a liquidity raise. There was 100,000 MoveQuest tokens, and then 20,000 that were like a referral base. So 120,000 tokens. That was it. That was all that was in circulation prior to listing the token, and the funds from that liquidity raise was used to list the token. That's where it got started at $1. So next thing was making sure, one, security, which being fully decentralized makes it secure. Two, making sure that the user is actually in complete and total control. Three, making sure that it was user friendly. And you guys have been, those of you who've been here, you've seen that we've had to really we've changed it several times to make the onboarding simple. But because we are fully decentralized, because it is fully managed by smart contracts, there's a bit of work to do, but it's worth it to learn it, because once you understand how to navigate through MoveQuest, you've really got a pretty deep education into the crypto world. Seriously, you could pretty much navigate through anything in the crypto world with a pretty, I would say, mid-level understanding of crypto. And then as you really start digging into MoveQuest and you really see how the dynamics are and how it all works, I think that you start to begin to understand the crypto space. I think it starts to help you learn what projects to stay away from. I would love to see nothing more than all of these scam projects go by the wayside. I don't think every time a project is created, they do it with the idea of a scam. But I do think that if you create a crypto project, you have a level of responsibility to the community to make sure that it's operating properly. And that's why we've taken the 4 years to develop this the proper way, to take the time and the expense and do it the right way so that it is still here. And 4 years later, we're still here. Of all the move to earn, I always say we're really not your typical move to earn because there's not one move to earn project out there that has a full ecosystem. They're not fully decentralized. There's some level of management that project still controls and maintains. I haven't found one that's fully decentralized yet outside of MoveQuest. I think we fall more into the FitFi area, more of the technology space, health and wellness, than what we do move to earn, because we're way above all the move to earns that are out there. There's not a single move to earn project that's even hit 5 cents. And we're way above that. And I know people don't always like the market value of our token based on what your submission fees are, but you got to think about blockchain. And I tell this story more than once. I remember the very first time I sold Bitcoin. It was because my son wanted to buy a truck and he needed $6,500. And it killed me to sell Bitcoin because I'm a hoarder, like I said, when it comes to crypto. It kills me when I have to sell my crypto. I do it at times, but I don't like to. But it cost me, over $1,500 to sell that $6,500 of Bitcoin. And that's because the mining costs were so high back then, and it was based on use, of the coin, how many people were engaged, with Bitcoin, the selling pressure. There's a lot of things that are involved in that, and it's the same thing here. When you submit that proof of physical activity, there is a cost to do that. It's an in-app fee, but that is liquidity. And those of you that have been watching the exchange, for example, there's an algorithm that watches this, okay? It knows what's going on. It knows if the selling pressure is high. It knows when there's a demand for the token. It knows, it even watches wallets. Like there was a wallet last night that started buying, and it triggered with an explanation for a liquidity injection, not buy MoveQuest and bring the market value up, but pad it at its current liquidity level so it pads it for when that particular wallet sells. So there's so much that goes into this project to manage that liquidity pool, not for the seller, more for the holder, right? Because those are the ones that are supportive of liquidity of the project. But that submission fee, sometimes people will say, well, it's higher than the MoveQuest that I'm actually mining. But you can't look at what its market value is today. You got to look at what that market value is down the road, because there's not a single crypto project in this space that's worth its weight in gold if you buy or mine today and are in profit. It just doesn't happen. Crypto is a digital asset that moves up in market value or it moves down in market value. So if you're mining it today to sell it today, then you're not really in it for the right reasons. First and foremost, you should be in it for your health and wellness, to, get as healthy as you possibly can using this application. And banking is as much of that MoveQuest as you can possibly get your hands on, because you know that in the future, when there is a higher demand for that token, you're going to get the higher market value. That's how crypto works, period. And like I said, I've got Bitcoin that I've been buying since it was $100, $50, $25, and it's over $120,000 now, and I'm still holding that Bitcoin. I have Ethereum that I bought when it was 55 cents. I'm still holding that Ethereum. Why? I know Bitcoin's going to hit $1 million. I know that Ethereum will easily hit $10,000 to $25,000, and before I'm dead. Okay, I look at when I'm 65 years old, what do I want to be doing? And what will I be able to do with that crypto in, 7 to 10 years from now versus if I sell it right now? Well, of course, it's going to have more market value. Those are stable blockchains. They're never going away. They're going to be here forever. So I know those are sure bets. And so for those of you that think it's too late to buy Bitcoin, you're wrong. Even if you only bought $100 a month of Bitcoin, I mean, that's a very good coin to buy. And the same with Ethereum. Ethereum, yeah, they go up, they go down. You got to ignore that part. You got to look at how much you're banking and what its potential is in the future. And I'm going to tell you right now, MoveQuest is a high potential token. And all of you that have watched the market in, just the last few days, one thing that we have been telling, probably until we have, probably could say it in our sleep, we talk about supply and demand. If the selling pressure is high, the market value is going to continue to go down. The liquidity from the algorithm, it's going to bank. I mean, just this week alone, I think that of the bank liquidity, over $700,000 has been added into the pool. There's been some selling, but it buys, it injects the liquidity, and it stabilizes that market. But it does it based on the amount of MoveQuest that's in circulation, based on the number of submissions, based on what's being sold, what's being held, what's in the hatcheries, what are the hatcheries due to be claimed. All of these things play into how this algorithm works for the liquidity pool. Well, when we decided, and I wish I would have done this right from the beginning, but I've always, in the crypto space, the community controls supply and demand, right? And if you are involved in a project where people understand that, you'll see some good holding, but you'll also see, that selling pressure too. And so I was thinking about it, I'm like, this has got to be written into the algorithm. It's got to be written into the algorithm, into the ecosystem, so that the ecosystem supplies or controls the supply and demand. Or like I told you yesterday, manages it. And I don't know, sometimes the light bulb just goes on. I'm like, figured it out. This is what we need to do. So we, added it into the algorithm. And now the amount of MoveQuest that is able to be mined is based on the submissions. The more submissions, the more MoveQuest can be mined. The lower the submissions, the lower amount of MoveQuest that can be mined. And it removed the selling pressure. Immediately, it removed the selling pressure. You've seen it happen almost immediately. And so that proves my point. Selling pressure, if people are not responsible with their tokens and with the market, you're going to see, a project that will decline. In our situation, even though the submissions were coming in daily, the algorithm and the ecosystem is not going to make it a playground for sellers. It's going to make it a playground for holders. And so as soon as that dynamic changed, you've seen what started to happen. It gets exciting. The ecosystem, it's buying, it's injecting liquidity, it's supporting the market, it's doing exactly what it was supposed to do. So I guess the whole bottom line to why did I create MoveQuest? One, I got tired of people getting ripped off. I got ripped off myself. I get tired of people who tell others that they know this is the next best thing. No, it's really not. It's just the next best shitty thing that you're putting on the market that's going to take other people's money, and shame on you for that. That's how I feel. And that's why I started MoveQuest. I was once I retired from the pet industry, I got into network marketing. And that was the same thing. I didn't know anything about network marketing. I got involved in projects or not projects, but companies, network marketing, multi-level marketing companies, that were also created by people that really pretty much were just there to take, our money. And it took me several of those to realize, like, whoa, you know what? None of this works. I'm getting out of it. And so in 2014, that was the last time I was involved in any kind of networking or multi-level marketing project. And I think that's probably when I really started to really dig really deep into crypto and made that my new obsession, and got involved there, even though I'd been involved in it, prior to that. So you learn from your mistakes, both the multi-level marketing mistakes, both, and then the crypto projects, that I had spent money into and lost and shared it with other people. They lost too, to where, okay, now I'm responsible for what I bring into this space, and I have to do it right because I've got people, who have spent their money to be a part of MoveQuest to mint these miners that are submitting every day. I have to answer to a community of people. So if I'm going to do this, I have to do it right. I got to take the time to do it right. I've got to make sure that it's following crypto protocol for what will last, what is sustainable. What's sustainable? It's your good blockchain projects. Well, I don't want to create a blockchain. They're expensive, outrageously expensive, but I wanted to build it like a blockchain. And that's what we did. And we also did it so that other projects can also use our platform. People use the same miners, they can mine other projects' tokens. It expands the communities, it allows community collaboration. It also gives good projects 100% utility with a self-funding ecosystem. So if they're a project that's struggling, they can turn it around very, very quickly. If they're launching a project, they've got instant liquidity with an instant self-sustaining ecosystem just using our platform. And it's taken a while for MoveQuest to catch on, and that is because it is complicated. People don't understand it 100% right in the beginning, but it's one that you can get involved in and know with 100% assurance it's not going anywhere. It's here today. It doesn't need me, and it's completely managed, like I said, by smart contracts on the blockchain by the community. It doesn't even need a website. You can do everything right through the smart contract, so it can't be shut down. There's nothing to shut down. It's all on chain. At that point, you would just use contracts if for whatever reason the website was gone or anything like that. It's here forever. So maybe I might have rattled on a little bit, but
Not at all.
that's pretty much me and MoveQuest.
Wow, what an amazing, amazing share of information, Lynette. That was some firepower that you just dropped on the community. I am so inspired by this project. You know, one of the things about state-of-the-art technology, I remember technology has always lit me up. And I remember walking into a recording studio for the first time, being involved in the entertainment industry before. Right, walking into a studio for the first time, seeing that massive mixing board and all the outboard gear, and just hearing the audio that comes out of that type of technology, it just lit me up. And I got the same and similar feeling when being exposed to the technology behind MoveQuest. It was just incredible. And that's part of the reason why it was just something to not overthink the process. No need for analysis paralysis. You know, they say that a bird that sits on the fence gets shot from both sides. There was no need to procrastinate. We took action immediately. It was one of the best decisions that we ever made, and I'm super excited to be involved with this project. Lynette, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule, sharing all of that information with the entire MoveQuest Nation. I know everyone appreciates it. You can be anywhere in the world at this stage in your life with all that you've accomplished, the amount of success that you have, but you're here, showing up every single day, working with a work ethic that is second to none, and also being very transparent with the entire community. I know I, for one, am super grateful, and I know many of those who are listening are too. So thank you so much, Lynette. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
You're
And then there's a Colin in our chat that just got started. He's seen an X post. So I don't know if somebody, Hayden or Herschel, maybe Kiki, Catherine, if one of you can just kind of connect with him privately in the chat, because he's unlocked mining deck slots and he's got a phantom. But I don't want somebody to come and get involved in the project and not understand it or have somebody to connect with. So if somebody can kind of, one of our admins, just kind of reach out to him and help him understand the project a little bit. He's also waiting on Facebook to be approved so that he gets a pretty good grasp of this. Sorry, I don't mean to
no,
I don't hope he thinks I'm not singling him out, but it's important if he's got a lot of questions, and so he's going to need some, help and MoveQuest support. While that's a good place to go if you're stumped on something, it's not really the right place to go to learn more about MoveQuest. You know what I mean?
beautiful. Sounds good. Reach out to us. We are anybody who is part of this organization. We're excited to meet anyone who's looking at MoveQuest for the first time, second time, third time, yeah, just reach out to us and we'll do our best to check out that X channel and even the Facebook to see who and where you are. And yeah, we'll spark up that conversation to light you up in the right way with this incredible project. You are all here at the right time, the right place. Everyone is super early. You can consider yourself early adopters, and there is a powerful advantage to being early when it comes to disruptive technologies. Welcome to the new 1%. Just play this game right and follow the advice of the architect herself, Miss Lynette Artin. So, that being said, playing this game right and learning from mistakes. We heard so many nuggets of information. One of the things about learning from those past errors is safety, security, and best practices is super important to do the right things to get the right results. The first and most important conversation before you do anything in the crypto space is have a conversation about safety, security, and best practices. At the end of the day, this is crypto and blockchain disruptive state of the art technology. It's super secure, but at the same time, the control is all you are literally in the control seat. You have control over everything that you do. You are your own bank. Now, that means that making errors in this industry, in this space, could be disastrous. And when I say errors, we're not talking about, errors like, just making a mistake. We're talking about errors like letting your guard down and trusting the wrong entity that you might not even know who it is. Just like you wouldn't give a total stranger the keys to your car or the secret pin to your bank account. Some people they let their guard down so much when they're doing something new that they give away secure information to bad actors. These are some of the only ways that you can really fall short in this industry, but it happens. So that's why we always prioritize safety, security, and best practices. We're going to have that conversation right now, really quickly, and then finish off this conversation for today. We encourage you to write down all your passwords and your recovery phrases because these recovery phrases are necessary for you to recreate your wallet in case something happens to your device or your wallet. Okay. But here's the thing, avoid electronic records of these passwords. Do not take snapshots or save them inside some kind of a file in your device. Okay, these security keys, if your device gets compromised, guess what? The criminals have access to all those files and pictures as well. So you want to get a notebook, write down these passwords, keep the notebook in a safe place, keep multiple copies of your notebook, keep them in a secure safe, fireproof safe, someplace where you know it will be safe and secure, like even a safety deposit box in a bank. Whatever you got to do, just have a backup copy, but have it written down. Do not share your wallet password with anyone. Don't give away that recovery phrase or the security keys. Okay, sometimes they're mentioned in different ways. Security keys is another way to refer to the string of details that can help you to recreate your wallet. You don't want a criminal to recreate your wallet and drain that wallet of all its assets. Okay?
Hey, let me jump in here real quick too,
Sure.
Hayden, because there, with when you go to, even MoveQuest wherever, and your wallet comes up, right, to make a transaction, it will say right on your wallet, request from. Make sure that it is exactly where you want to be. For us, it's app.movequest.com. Okay, it's not apps dot, it's not app dash, it is app.movequest. So this will help you make sure that you're not being phished, right? That you are actually on the right site. And if in doubt, cancel it, reject it, double check, and then come back and do it again. But it will always tell you on your wallet, basically it's like an invoice before you hit confirm, request from. Make sure that the request is from where it's supposed to be. It'll also tell you the contract address that it's interacting with. And I'll have the developer list the contracts that you'll be interacting with so you can confirm that smart contract as well on your dashboard. And those are two ways that you can always double check yourself to make sure that whatever it is you're doing with your wallet it's actually going where you want it to go.
Absolutely. Very important information. We are actually even including that information in our step-by-step tutorial videos. So the main domain movequest.com is known, as well as the only official subdomain app.movequest.com. And again, not apps dot, not apps or app dash, it's app.movequest.com. Beware of direct messages, text messages, and emails. No one from MoveQuest technical support, customer support, or senior team will ever contact you requesting private information or sensitive wallet details. Only connect your wallet to 100% confirmed, legitimate websites. And do not click on unknown tokens, special gifts, or offers that magically show up in your wallet. Do not click on unknown links and do not scan random QR codes. Okay? These are all little strategies that criminals use to rob you of your very valuable digital assets. Always, always, always double check, triple check, and quadruple check transactions before sending and confirming them. One of the characteristics of crypto and blockchain is that transactions, once completed, they cannot be deleted, reversed, or duplicated. Okay, and another key thing here too is just maybe do a test transaction before you send a big amount of funds, especially when the amount is something that you really cannot afford to part with, right? Let's say you're doing $1,000 or $10,000 transaction. You want to do a $20 transaction first just to make sure the process is right. And even when you get the process right, the second time you do it, double check the details specifically. I personally have made mistakes doing that just by moving too fast, toggling quickly and copying a wrong address, even though it was a second a double check. So be careful, always double check, even the second time around. Double check your double check, if that makes any sense. But after a small little conversation like that, you are definitely more ready to start your journey within the crypto and blockchain scene. Okay, max out with this MoveQuest project. Live healthy and stay rich. And the reason why I use the term stay rich is because you were born rich. You're already in possession of everything you need to have 100% success. You were born with the ability to think and access higher faculties that separate you from the rest. Now, education is super important when it comes to having success in crypto. One of the things that I did before I did anything in crypto is just check out some of the right ways of doing things. And I found somebody named Crypto Casey. She actually has a lot of how-to videos. I would encourage you to check that out, because there's no shortage of information on the internet on how you can do things the right way. She's got a lot of cool stuff. I would sincerely advise you to check out Crypto Security, things to do before investing in cryptocurrency. Crypto Casey is kind of cool, so you can check that out. Also, one of the members of our community, Mr. Brandon Ivy, the professor, he has an amazing academy called the Ivy League Crypto Academy. I encourage you to check out what he's got going on. It's an amazing way to learn crypto basics. And then as you learn the basics, you can get even more advanced. And it's an amazing way to participate in this industry. Education is super key. And then we got the Bullish Moon Educational Token, Bullish Moon Project, which is also an education, crypto education project. So you got to check that out. They are amazing. They really speak to those who are new to all of this. They take you right from knowing absolutely nothing to being super savvy with this incredible disruptive technology known as crypto and blockchain. Their motto is we leave no one behind. Now, for those of you who have people who you want to give an elementary look at MoveQuest, every single Tuesday, every single Thursday, we light it up at 12 o'clock sharp right here on Zoom. So the next event will be posted in the X channel or the Discord accounts. Just keep an eye out for it. But on Tuesday, we will have an express, maybe 15 to 20-minute overview of the MoveQuest project. Invite all your friends, family, and associates. And do not sleep on this offer. This offer is going away faster than the phantoms. Those of you, my sincere advice is Don't even waste time with the phantoms. The phantoms are there for people who are literally broke, busted, and disgusted. Not really, but it's phantoms are great. It's an opportunity to test drive the technology, but it's not designed for you to live there. Okay, so test drive the technology with the phantoms. Develop a strategy on how to max out your healthy physical activity. Use the phantoms as a time to learn how the app works and even test it out. Test it out to see if it is as we are saying it is. Okay, the Phantoms are great for that, but don't spend too much time there. Take action on this promo. It's gonna disappear much faster than the Phantoms, and it's not a lot of funds to get started with. And in actuality, you are really just shifting assets out of one old asset class, fiat currency, into a digital asset class because these are assets that you own. These are NFTs, non fungible tokens, and they actually are revenue generating assets. They will cause you to build additional assets. Those of you who know the importance of assets, you want to start with NFTs that will help you to create residual value in your life. Now, that being said, that about wraps up this edition of Super Saturday. Some final words before we go off to max out proof of physical activity. When describing the concept of mining crypto, many people compare it to the goose laying golden eggs, which is very accurate. However, there is another section of the story that many people overlook, and that is Jack's mother throwing away the special beans, considering them worthless. You see, in the story of Jack and the Beanstalk, Jack's mom gets upset with Jack and says, "You took our real coins that was supposed to be to buy food, and you come home with these ridiculous beans." And she tosses them out the window, seeing them as worthless. Well, we know the rest of the story. And for those of you who don't, well, for the sake of time, you're gonna have to read the short story of Jack and the Beanstalk. However, to skip to the end, consistent Jack, persistent Jack, courageous Jack with vision of possibilities, that Jack is now the owner of the goose that lays the golden eggs over and over and over and over and over again. Now, that being said, many of the community are looking at the here and now value when it comes to mining MQT. Immediate profit and loss mindset, instant gratification mindset. Big mistake. That is a trading time for money and school system job conditioning type mindset. Mining crypto is also not the same as trading digital assets. With mining crypto, you have to have a deferred gratification mindset. Focus on the future value, the future possibilities, and the future targets rather than an instant gratification mindset. The token that you mine today, in some cases, may only seem like a loss when you calculate it, when you calculate the value of cashing it in immediately. However, when you activate the diamond hand mindset and you apply that way of thinking to the MoveQuest state-of-the-art technology, you create a possibility to live and experience a lifestyle that most people only dream about. Thanks again for being part of today's Super Saturday event. This is Hayden Andre, your friendly neighborhood digital asset investor, ending the transmission for the day.
Before you close out, Hayden?
Yeah, sure.
One thing, I apologize. I just wanted to get this one thing in before we let everybody go today. The MoveQuest Elite 90-Day Challenge, the official registration ended on October the 20th for the complete 90-day challenge. However, I want to encourage everyone in the community, please, if you have any interest, you can still register because what we're going to be doing is having challenges within the challenge in and of itself. And I promise you, over the course of the next 90 days, there will be something for everyone to participate in or what have. That's one thing. And even if you don't want to participate yourself, you're doing the physical activity anyway. Please come join our Facebook group or follow our Facebook group and support those individuals that have made a commitment to themselves to enhance their physical well-being in some way, shape, form, or fashion, or what have you. Everybody on a weekly basis is coming in and they're posting videos of the physical activity that they're performing, or they're giving testimonies about their journey. And this whole thing is about a community and supporting one another throughout the process. So I encourage everyone, if you can, come join and support and give encouragement to those that are out there putting in the work on a daily basis. We want the wealth, but it's really about the health and the longevity of it. That's all from me. Hey, go right ahead.
We appreciate you, Herschel Crow. That was the man himself, Mr. Herschel Crow, one of the leaders in our community, a member of the core team, and he's leading from the front, leading by example, and he has launched an independent challenge that is supported by everyone in the MoveQuest community. Thank you so much, Herschel, for all of the work that you do, and thank you for that little piece of information. I know it's very valuable to the entire community. Make sure that you visit www.movequestchallenges.com to learn more and register in the 90-day Elite Challenge. It is still open to everyone. So that being said, once again, thank you all so much for hanging out at this Super Saturday event. We are here every Saturday lighting up an advanced conversation. This is Hayden Andre, your friendly neighborhood digital asset investor, ending transmission for the day. Let's all go out and max out proof of physical activity and live life more on our own terms. Thank you once again.
Turns to gold, yeah. It's all for you.